are many opportunities that a student has after his graduation. One of the traditional ways is to look for a job in a company and take up the job and build up your career. Whereas you can also go into self-employed or entrepreneurship, where you already have a skill that you have the confidence to develop into a business where you will have a monetary return as well as a pleasure of doing things you like. However, I would recommend all the students to work for a few years in a company of their chosen area of activity and gain the experience before venturing into independent business. This is because you are not getting sufficient practical training and exposure in the engineering college where you are studying now. And until that our courses are redesigned to provide you not only academic knowledge but thorough practical and industrial experience. In my case, I believed a very thorough knowledge of what I am going to practice is important. Therefore, I decided to go out on a ship and become a practical operating engineer, knowing all aspects of the operation of the ship. And thereafter, I went into shipbuilding, where I learned how ships are being built. Then I turned into ship design with this knowledge of shipbuilding and ship operation, how ships can be built that are superior to the existing designs. So it was a gradual build-up, but there was a lot of hard work all throughout my career ever since I graduated. This is almost 16 hours a day, every day, preparing. So in order to do that, you have to have a goal. Your goals have been set, then you know what you require to achieve that goal. Hard work is definitely important because you don't learn everything in your engineering college. There are a lot more to study. Those who can afford, they can go for higher education and gather that knowledge. But those who are not able to do it, they can still get the knowledge because the knowledge is available. It's only a question of spending extra hours after your work to learn whatever additional knowledge that you require to go further. And hard work is definitely very important, and taking risk is also equally important. But those risks you take, I would say, should be calculated, that you should know what you are getting into. As long as you take calculated risk and not blind risk, the chances that you will be successful. Academics definitely is the foundation on which you're building your career. Academic knowledge, a thorough knowledge of the subject of engineering, is essential for one to be a good engineer. But that is only a part of your total self, because not only that you have engineering knowledge, you should have a skill to communicate and convey your engineering knowledge to the person sitting opposite to you. And as an engineer, you will be dealing with people, and therefore you must have people skills. And in any engineering project, organization and implementation is of great value. So you have to develop both organizational skills and the execution skills, so that whatever that you are doing, whatever you are handling, that can be successfully completed. Shipbuilding is perhaps an area where almost every branch of engineering is applied. It is built on naval architecture, it is built on structural engineering, it is built on marine engineering, it is built on mechanical engineering, it is built on electrical engineering, it is built on communication engineering, it is built on safety engineering. So if you take every aspect of engineering is applied into shipbuilding. So the opportunity that you get is not only to practice one branch of engineering, but a multiple branch of engineering. So therefore, when you think about shipbuilding, it has got everything that you can imagine on a ship. It has got main engines, generators, pumps, boilers, purifiers, compressors, refrigeration plant, air conditioning plant, firefighting plants, sewage treatment plants, kitchen and galley equipment, navigation equipment, various radio equipment. So the opportunity for you as a marine engineer is vast. You get exposed to all these branches of engineering because there are only 5 engineers on the ship. And these engineers are expected to know all about all the systems on the ship, and they should be able to operate it, not only operate it, repair it, maintain it, run it. So I think the area of ships, shipbuilding, marine engineering offers an engineer multiple choices of activities and great multitasking opportunity because you have various responsibilities on board a ship. That's a great question. Why do Indian engineering graduates look for opportunities abroad? First, it is obvious if these opportunities were available in India, definitely our people would have stayed back and availed these opportunities. So, lack of opportunities is definitely a reason for our fresh graduates go looking for higher education or better opportunities. So the best answer to that is to create such opportunities in our own country. Here, the alumni of the college, of our various educational institutions, have great responsibility to come back and provide that knowledge and experience so that such opportunities are created inside the country so that the fresh graduates need not have to go for higher education or they have to go looking for opportunities. So while building up the opportunities for higher education and training, research and development, we should simultaneously create job opportunities. So once this has attained a maturity, then we will not see people going abroad. Basically, no one wants to go abroad, but they are forced to go abroad to seek the opportunities that they dream of. This is another great question. The 4 years you get in the college, what do you do? Yes, the college has designed an academic syllabus, perhaps some practical engineering practices, but there are a lot more things that you can create yourself to benefit from your 4 years of stay in the college. So while I was in the college, I was a representative from my class from the very first year to the college association. Thereby, I started getting associated with union activities or college association activities. This way, I could influence to some extent how things are done at the college level with regard to the students and the management. I realized that there are a lot of opportunities to build up your other skills. The skills I talked about: communication skills, people skills, organizational skills, sports spirit, cultural activities, because all these things contribute to your total growth. Engineering is only a part of it. When you go out to the real world, you need to have all these qualities. So as a result, while I was the Planning Forum Secretary, we organized a symposium involving 9 political leaders. The subject was, should the political parties involve students in politics? It was a very interesting symposium attended by then leaders like E.M.S. Namboodiripad, K.M. Chandy, Leela Damodara Menon, Divakaran, Baby John, and it was chaired by Lakshmi and Menon, who was the Under Secretary General of the United Nations. So for me to bring them all on the same day at the same time was a Herculean task, which meant many trips to many places, meeting these people, making sure that all the 9 people agree on a common time, and thereafter organizing the symposium and making sure that it is run properly. So that gave me a lot of chances to develop my people skills, organizational skills, communication skills. Then we conducted another symposium that was whether computerization will increase unemployment. Similarly, we invited from an all India level eminent people at that time in computer engineering and management, and we had a symposium where we concluded that computerization in fact will increase jobs. Perhaps it may displace some clerical or other type of jobs, but it will create far more opportunities that they are displacing. And you can see today how much computer-based opportunities have increased. Then I was told that there were a lot of students who are not able to pay their fees, and is there any way of overcoming this problem? And under the guidance of then Principal Mr. M.K. Hamid, we organized a benefit show, and by spending 2,000 rupees, we could collect something like 16,000 rupees. Again, it benefited a lot of my classmates and my college mates. It created student assistantship. It created opportunities for students to work in the canteen and in the hostel and wherever an opportunity can be given to them in the library. And they were all given student stipends which helped them to complete their studies. So this probably gave me a lot of awareness of our social responsibility. Okay, continuing further, we did a project in our final year. It was a designing, fabrication, installation and testing of a shell and tube heat exchanger to a Kirloskar open loop cooling system engine to a closed loop cooling system and increasing the thermal efficiency. So this gave me a lot of opportunity as a deputy leader of that project to bring all my friends together, have the design completed, have the material procured, have the things fabricated and tested and results obtained. So these type of things, there are many things happened. And the college, as you know, was very, very strong in sports. So it gave me opportunities to participate in sports. It also gave me a chance to accept success and failure. which is a great quality that you need in real life. That there are not always you succeed, there are times you fail, but then you practice and practice and practice till you perfect and succeed. The cultural activities gave the softer side, the art side of your life. So that there is a contribution in that area. So I think there are multiple opportunities that you can create, you can make, and I understand that many activities are organized by students nowadays, far more than we did, and I think you should think more towards the experiments that you can do while at college for your future life. This is a great question, and this is a very valid question, and what you are fearing is the same that I also fear, that we are going to have a very tough future after the COVID epidemic. Definitely, the world is going to see huge economical and food shortage, and several jobs will be lost. The standard of life that we are used to will have to be lowered. So it's a problem that is going to be facing the entire world. So what one can do, one can always be very proactive about the whole subject. You have to start thinking about a situation where you may not have any job, where you may not have the kind of opportunities your seniors had, and what can you do? When I graduated in 1968, there were 60,000 unemployed engineers. That is because after the independence, the country decided to have an industrial policy where we decided to expand the activities of our nation, economic activity of the nation, by creating a lot of industries and a lot of job opportunities. For India, as an agriculture economy, it is a major switch. But what happened was, by 1968, from the time I started engineering in 63, the world changed, or India changed. We almost had a famine. We had a very big shortage of food. Therefore, the government was forced to abandon the industrial policy and the industrial projects and refocus on agriculture. And as a result, the 60,000 engineers who graduated did not have a job. So that doesn't mean you should give up everything and be in a desperate situation. So I personally found out the opportunities for mechanical and electrical engineers to go out to sea after getting a 1-year training in a shipyard. For this, our college had to be recognized by Director General of Shipping, and I took the initiative, and with the support of the trust and the management, I could get our college recognized. As a result, thousands of mechanical and electrical engineers who were jobless could go out to sea and earn a very good living. I also put in papers for my civil service exam, so that if I get a chance, I'll write the exam and I may qualify. And third thing I did was, I put a board as a consulting engineer and started surveying boilers and factories and things like that for insurance companies. But within about 2 months, I got a call from Shipping Corporation of India as a trainee marine engineer, and that changed my life. So, if each one of you think that what alternate things that you can do when the traditional job has disappeared, I'm sure you'll find something. And while one door closes, many doors open. For example, there's going to be a huge shortage of food. So there is a lot of opportunities to get into farming, get into food processing, get into food export, and various things related to food. And as an engineer, perhaps you can bring a mindset to the farming mind and probably help the farmer farm better. I myself was the managing director of a farm in Canada, in the province of Quebec. It was a 3,000 acre farm which was not running at all good, and I was told to close the farming operations, which was part of my company. But I went back there and I worked for 10 years. I ran that farm for 10 years and turned it to be the best farm, the best performing farm in the province of Quebec. So I could think out of the box, not like a farmer, but like an engineer, and find out solutions for the problems that the farmers faced. To give you an example, because of the repeated cultivation of corn that was required for the cattle operation that we had, the land had become highly compacted. And without crop rotation, every year the land was getting compacted. So I thought how this can be overcome. So the conventional plows and conventional methods only touched the surface, but the compaction had gone 2 or 3 feet below the surface of the ground. So we designed a decompacting machine with at least cutting tools 2 or 3 feet below the ground, and ran that machine. And because it requires a lot of power, we installed hydraulic motors to run this particular cutting machine, and it was dragged by a very powerful tractor, and we could decompact the land. And once we decompacted the land, we applied crop rotation. And once the crop rotation was completed, we replanted with corn again, and our production went 3 or 4 times more than what we were getting. There were similar problems that every year after the frost, stones would come out from 3 feet of the ground when the ground thawed. So that was a big problem, and there wasn't enough manual labor to pick up all the stones. So we designed a stone picker, a tractor that would pull a machine that would constantly collect these stones, dump into a basket, and that basket is dumped into a dump truck and thrown away. So you can be very creative. So I think this applies in every aspect of our life, because the engineer is uniquely blessed with knowledge that it can apply to everyday life. So again, one of the things is that your focus should never be on money. I'm sure money is required for various reasons, but you should be actually doing what you like to do, what you like to achieve, and as a consequence of that effort, money will come. So money is not the means that the money is not the end of anything, but money actually follows whatever you do. And you can always find out the needs in the society, needs for farmers, needs for businessmen. So you can find out solutions for that and turn it into a business. Similarly, we are fortunate, almost 20 lakhs Malayalis work abroad, probably handling superior technology, superior processes, superior methods, and out of which at least 5 or 10 lakhs would come back and settle down in the country. A lot of them retired, a lot of them lost their jobs, a lot of them don't want to go back for a variety of reasons. So if you can combine some of these talented people together and launch a business, that would be another answer. So I think for the first time, Kerala will not face labor shortage. There are 35 lakhs Bengalis who are sending home 60,000 crores every year, whereas the entire Malayalis who send money back from Gulf, they only send 53,000 crores. So you can imagine there's huge opportunities in our own state, let alone India. So if you think creatively, if you think positively, and if you plan well, I'm sure you can not only make a living, probably you can make a good living. So I'm not afraid of the post-COVID situation. It will be tough, it will be challenging, it will not be the same as it used to be, but we have to change according to the circumstances. We have to become creative and we have to be proactive, and I'm sure we will find a good answer. I know you wanted me to talk a little more. First of all, let me congratulate you, the team behind this, for organizing such an endeavor which will be useful to many students. I think the alumni of our college have reached very high positions, achieved a lot of impossible things, studied and excelled in their higher education. All of them will have something to share with you, something to give it to you. So listen to it. If 10 people are listening to me, the 10 people are taking away the meaning of my talk in 10 different ways. So it doesn't really matter that everyone follows someone. Even if you get one idea from one person, that's more than sufficient. And you may not take the ideas of every person. You only take what you want, So I encourage you to continue this series of talks and share the knowledge and experience from alumni. Make notes of them. Do have a post-listening meeting where you can talk about the items that was shared by the speaker, analyze it and see what is that you have to take away from that. That is very important, because just listening and going away, it will not make any difference. What will be really useful would be if you take it, analyze it and see what is that I can take from this person, from his experience, and that is something that you should conclude, and if you like, you practice it. And I wish the organizers every success for this endeavor, and all the best to the listeners, to the students who will be listening. And if any one of you feel that you would like to talk to me, I'll be available to talk to you. And if you need any kind of advice or mentoring or whatever that you wish to have, or to have a lifeline to ask me at any time of your life, as long as I'm alive and healthy, I'll be very happy to share my experience in life. Thank you very much. Long live TKM. Thank you.